Okay, so moving on from the Fusion Flashbomb to the Flashbomb and the Flashbomb Pro. I'm going to talk about the Flashbomb first, and then the difference and why they have a Flashbomb Pro, and it's definitely needed as well. But we'll go through that. So the Flashbomb, which I have inside out here because that's where the money shot is. So this is the Flashbomb, not the Flashbomb Pro, is lined head to toe. It is the E7 thermal lining on the top, and then waist down E6. That's obviously to give you extra stretch for your shoulders, but it carries that warmth through the body. As mentioned in the intro, a big change to the wetsuit for this season is the Fusion welded seams, which you can see but can't see here. So the improved seams, and then you can see where the taping is and the critically taped areas obviously here as well. Another staple, and you can't have a conversation about cold water wetsuits without mentioning the Flashbomb from Rip Curl. It's been around for a long time. That name has continuously improving it year on year, as they have again. Extremely stretchy. What you can't see is a chest zip model for the Flashbomb. And again, just ticks every box for cold water performance. You know, 4.3s in these are a great wetsuit going into the winters and coming out of the winters, and then your 5 mils taking you through the deep, dark, cold months. 5 mils in this with these linings that you're going to feel keep you super, super warm. They also, the linings dry really fast. So the outside of your suit might stay a little bit damp like day to day, but really, if you get this used and then hung, inside's going to be nice to put on session after session as well, which is a really key part. They also are smooth to get on and off, which is, again, for a winter suit, I think is a hugely underrated part of how important that is. You're standing in a cold car park or somewhere and you've got your wetsuit stuck on your leg, you're falling over. It's never good. These are good to get on and off. That's the Flashbomb. And then, as I say, we will go, one thing I'll show you here that this has, as well as the Pro, is this new textured feel to the outer. So again, it stretches great. The feel, the softness, I feel like it's a bit extra stretchy as well in that. And it also looks really nice. It kind of looks to me like it's a bit less old style wetsuity. So I really, really like that. That is on the Flashbomb as well as the Flashbomb Pro, which is here. And the biggest differences between the Flashbomb and the Flashbomb Pro externally, essentially, is that the Flashbomb Pro is zip free and the Flashbomb OG is chest zip. Internally, so what you have is, as mentioned again on the intro, so this E7 thermal lining, this blue section is now sustainable natural rubber foam from Osina, and then you have the E6 lining throughout. The reason you have that as a difference from the Flashbomb to the Flashbomb Pro is performance. You get a slightly lower profile, slightly lighter weight feel, increased stretch through the shoulders and through the performance part of this wetsuit, with still the fantastic warmth through. And again, Fusion welded seams with the critical taping throughout as well. So essentially, that's the difference. Increased warmth, increased performance, but again, you're ticking both boxes on both. If you're in a slightly warmer part of the world where you still need a 5 mil or a 4 mil, but the water's not as cold, or you're just a bit less prone to feeling the cold, you can go for a Flashbomb Pro and get more stretch, more flex. Vice versa, if you feel the cold or if you're in a colder part of the world, go for the Flashbomb. You're still going to get flex, but you get extra warmth. That is the Flashbomb and the Flashbomb Pro. So one thing also to add, the Flashbomb, not the Flashbomb Pro, is also available in the hooded, integrated hood, which is like obviously a key staple for winter. You can get this in a 4mm, 5mm and 6mm hooded version where the hood is lined as well. And it's also kind of smooth skin hood, so that's really good for wind protection and obviously warmth on the inside. So every cold water option ticked there. The 4.3 is a really good, the 4.3 hooded is a really good choice for like winter, like going into winter and out of the winter and most of the winter, and especially in places like Cornwall and south of France and Portugal, places like that. So yeah, that's the hooded option as well, which is on the Flashbomb, not the Flashbomb Pro, but incredible.